great
boy.
news. I have
Bobby
such,
boy.
I have such great news.
We have great news. Great news, everyone. It's us.
It's
It's
us. We're here.
News
I'm
Release
trying to
Wrestling. This is
fix
the
my
woos and
camera.
whats of AEW Dynamite.
Do I look good?
Tam was saying like we're live, like don't ruin the show. plus Tam,
Tam, you should know by
because
this
I was like,
point
Bobby boy,
we're
Bobby
reckless.
boy.
Hey, can I tell you something? Can
Yeah,
I share something with
yeah,
the
of
the
course you
universe?
can. Yeah.
Um,
I just
I
opened this up for Moe's.
oh nice. I have a mango LaCroix.
Nice.
Um, so there's been a lot of changes in my life over the last month or so,
Sure.
and this is the first time that on my own I have to administer flea medication to Goose. And this morning I did it and accidentally gave her like double the dose she was supposed to get, and I was
Oh no.
terrified that it was gonna like cause her to have a seizure. But it's 9:08. I gave it to her 12 hours ago, and she's okay. She's fine. She's gonna make it.
Oh.
Soundboard's back, friends. Soundboard is back.
Oh
And we have a new one here for
boy.
Roy. When Roy says something I don't like.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
That's honestly, in this political climate, better than the other options you've put out there.
No, it is. It is pretty good. Brett Terms is in the chat. You may ask yourself, what is Terms doing in LLW Wrestling? This is very funny, Terms. We saw this right before we went on live, and it's very funny. Terms says Roy's headband rocks. Yes, Roy is doing his Moet cosplay. This is Moet cosplay, Roy.
I was doing this because I thought the Bucks were coming back tonight, but they aren't.
Oh, is that why you're doing it?
Yeah, this
For
is
the
a Bucks headband.
Moe's crack open the Reebs.
Hey,
Because he's drunk. Get
cheers,
Reebs
everybody.
beers.
Cheers, everybody.
Planks. And Brett says, Karate Kid. You look like the Karate Kid.
Ralph
Okay.
Macchio.
Let's go.
I like the other guy now.
Am I Cobra Kai?
I want to be him.
I've never seen the show. I heard
you should see the show.
I saw
It's
some
great.
of it. And it's really bad.
It's it's good. It's a good show.
The first episode sucked, but
it's so self-aware. It's great.
Is it?
They know it's super stupid. Yes, absolutely. Especially
and
the
they
first couple of
knowingly made it.
Well, that's what's so interesting is the first couple of seasons.
Sounds like they're
YouTube.
dicks, Roy.
No, it's making fun of itself.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everyone. We're going to talk AEW Dynamite. Brett says, sweep Roy's legs red. Roy's legs red. Oh, because I'm Cobra Kai would Cobra
Oh
Kai
yeah. I guess so.
Because I'd have to be Cobra Kai in this situation. You got the headband, and I got the backwards hat. That kid had a backwards cap, didn't he?
I don't know. I've never seen the movies. I've only seen the TV show.
I've never seen any of it. I've just seen pictures. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's get. Hey, how are you doing?
Not good.
Oh,
Uncle Paul died.
Uncle Paul. This show goes out to Uncle Paul. We're gonna do a really good show tonight.
Uncle Paul
in honor of
away.
Uncle Paul.
He was. I just found out last. Well, no, I wouldn't say that part. But he'd always come home and like when he'd come over for holidays, and he'd always check his pockets. He's like, oh, okay, we'll see. On with the races. To be continued. He had catchphrases that he'd just say. It's just very. And
that's
say,
like such an uncle thing.
He's like, how's it going? He's like, all quiet on the rest in front.
I literally live in fear every day that's what I'm going to become when I'm older.
And he's like when he's about to hug you, say goodbye, he's like tapping everything, make sure he doesn't crush anything. But there's never anything in his pockets.
Who's he related to?
My mom. He's my mom's brother.
Right.
I give a honk honk for Uncle Paul.
Give a honk honk for Uncle Paul. This show's going out to Uncle Paul.
This is Uncle Paul.
We're gonna do a good one. We're gonna do a good one today. We're gonna full of arguments. We're gonna argue so much.
Oh, he loved it. We got to start talking about this damn show.
Yeah.
We get started with a big old 8-man tag, Roy.
Yeah, how'd you feel about this?
So let's talk about it. So it's the Guns coming out with Ding Dong Anderson and what's his name? Ding Dong
Morrissey.
And with Swerving Your Glory versus FTR and the Acclaimed. I thought it was okay. It's better than a lot of 8-man matches. That's the best I could give it.
That's really funny because I was gonna say, what this match was missing? This match felt disjointed. It didn't feel like everybody was on the same page. I was gonna say this match was missing the Young Bucks because the Young Bucks put together an excellent multi-man match.
They put the same one on, yes. And it's a good one. It's a good WrestleMania match they do every single week. It's the same one. We got Chico Mark saying, maybe y'all are too young to have a strong connection to Karate Kid characters. That's probably
Maybe.
true. Mose writes, Cobra Kai is solid. Chico Mark says, honk, honk, Uncle Paul. And then we get an Uncle Paul chat from Brett.
Hell yeah.
And Brett says, Uncle Paul is over with the LLW multiverse. Yeah, let's give it up for Uncle Paul. Let's give it
hey,
no,
hey,
that's
Mose.
Ding Dong Morrissey's sound. We'll give him one of these. There you go.
Hey, Mose. I don't know if you're. Isn't Mose in the chat? Didn't Mose make an
Mose
appearance?
is here. Yeah.
Mose just wrote in the Discord, "Young Shelton time." Mose bounced to watch Young Sheldon.
That's fucked up.
It's also Sheldon, not Shelton Benjamin. Unless he's watching
Mose.
Early Shelton Benjamin matches, which is a good call.
No, he's watching the in-between when he was with his mom.
The gold standard.
Brett says 8-man tag had too many dives onto every single competitor, 100%.
Yeah.
It's just the usual match. It's the usual match.
There's a lot of kind of waiting.
With a slight variation because Keith Lee is in it.
Yeah.
Mose writes, where was Keith Lee in the match? Roy, good point on Bucks. Keith Lee was just in one part because he was a reluctant competitor.
Right.
Which was that's the best part of the match was the story. There was a little bit of a story with like Keith Lee not wanting to do it. And I'm excited for Keith Lee versus Swerve.
Yes.
Much more than I am any of this. Is that fair?
Yes. I am disappointed, but understanding that the tag team match at the pay-per-view isn't a gimmick match.
What do you mean?
They should be using gimmick matches for this reason. This is a blow-off.
Yes.
But now they're not. Very strange to me. But yes, this was good booking in a way. Although, someone has to take the fall, and it should be the Ass Boys, but the Ass Boys and FTR still need to wrestle each other.
Eventually. I think the Ass Boys need a little bit more digging to do before they're able to get to that. But a few notes that I had from the match.
Yes, please.
Before Billy ran in the beginning and attacked Swerve almost immediately, which I thought would have been a really cool thing just to not have the match. Like just like they do it later in the night. They didn't even do it later in the night. They never do that.
No,
they have this big 8-man match, and then all of a sudden Billy ruins it for them because he's still upset about that, and it's this big brawl. They love big brawls.
Right.
Have a big brawl in the ring, and that's how you get the crowd amped for the rest of the show. Let's give us a surprise every now and then. But one thing I did right is Dax needs to be a single. I'm over. I like FTR. I think they're great. They shouldn't break up where they feud with each other. But after Dax and the FTR have their AEW tag team reign, I want Dax to go single, and I want him to kind of shift off from Cash.
He would be such a great TNT champion, like a workhorse, like TV champion. I'm not saying like the title. I'm saying like give him a mid-card title and let him defend it every week. Like let him do open challenges. Let him like wrestle 20, 30-minute matches with Bryan Danielson over the title. Like let him, like he could bring a lot of credibility to that title that has completely gone away from it. Like completely gone away. That title needs to be rehabbed, and we'll talk more about it later, but I don't know. At this point, I don't know what they can do.
Honestly, I'm not. How did you feel overall on the night?
I thought what I really liked. But I put in the Discord that I wish I didn't have to pay such close attention to this show and could just like watch it like in passing. Because if I watched it in passing, I would love it. But if I'm really paying close attention to it, there's so many little booking things that just drive me up a fucking wall.
Yeah, but at least I feel like there's some things that are just in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
This next one, so they claimed win that. And it was fine. It was whatever. You've seen one, you've seen them all, but the Acclaimed win.
Yes.
But what we get next, Roy, is
I think it's so fascinating to me that this is the one that sticks with you the most.
I'll tell you why. So next we get MJF apparently went on Pardon My Take. Are you familiar?
I've seen I know it exists, but I've never listened to it.
I've listened to an episode too, but apparently it's the most popular podcast in the world.
Yeah, they really went that.
I've heard that before though. I heard that
popular
before.
Sports podcast.
No, I think it's most popular podcast.
But they said sports podcast.
Did they say sports?
Yeah, they said sports. But it could be.
I don't know. I thought it was most. But either way. Geez, we're both drinking
Be
carbonated
careful.
beverages
Yeah.
today. I'm gonna get burpy.
It's because of Mose,
Mose had to have
who
us
left
out
the
drinking
show to
beers.
watch Young Shelton.
Oh no, Mose is back. But like the thing is, so MJF. We'll talk to you in a sec, Mose. But MJF goes on Part of My Take.
Yeah.
Apparently, it hasn't aired yet. This is like must have just filmed it today.
Yeah.
Because he cuts this promo. I think was a really. I wrote generational promo.
I think
this is something that's going to stick around because for this promo that he's doing, and I'm assuming this is going to be on Part of My Take when it releases to the largest sports audience listening to podcasts, which is probably a real good chunk.
Sure.
They're going to remember the first time they heard MJF. A lot of people are not aware of MJF. Him being on Part of My Take, I think before a lot of other sports people, like a lot of other wrestlers, I think he may be one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, but who knows? But either way, like that's huge.
First from
for him to have
AEW.
this, what?
First from AEW,
From AEW,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Undertaker has been on it, or like
Probably
Triple H
something
or
like
someone like that.
But it's another classic. He doesn't miss.
No.
But this was just something that telling his story, telling what he's done, telling where he's going, and then just cutting down Moxley. But in the best way, where he builds him up as well. He's just like,
Right.
You're an unathletic guy with 2 left feet, with all this stuff.
You weren't
And he's
supposed
just
to
like,
be who you are, but because of all of your hard work.
Yeah. It's just, and it's amazing work. What are your thoughts on it? You don't seem as enamored with it as I am.
I'm not as enamored because I just feel like he's done this before. Like, this isn't like new. He always knocks it out of the park. And I don't call this a generational, like, as a wrestling fan, I don't know if I call this a generational promo, but I understand where you're coming from. And I agree with you that if this is in front of an audience with like a podcast that gets millions of downloads every week, let's say, I have no idea, then yeah, that's huge. That's gigantic. But to me, a generational promo needs to happen in the ring.
No, that's not true. Kane Dewey.
That's a little different.
Hard Times.
That's also a little different.
No, but these are the
promo. I'll say that's why that's a little different, though.
Sure.
Dusty didn't cut that promo in ring, but that is exactly how that television was that show was formatted, and it was done in front of a live audience. The same thing with Kane Dewey. ECW was known for these like very specific stylistic backstage promos. This was on a radio show, and I'm not saying that. I'm not to take anything away from the content of the promo. I thought the best part about this was that he
flawless execution
to a diehard AEW fan as well. Like, not just to a novice, like new listener or a new watcher or whatever, to a diehard AEW fan who's been there every step of the way with MJF. He literally paints the perfect picture of his journey to this match. And he tells the truth. And it's like, he had me like, yeah, you're right. You never got that moment that you deserved. Cody's neck tattoo. What an excellent little touch.
Like, yeah.
He said, my comeback was taken away by a press conference. Boom. That's it. Dead. The press conference is fucking dead now. MJF just put the last nail on that fucking coffin. He just buried it. And now it's MJF's time. Don't get me wrong. It was great. It's excellent.
I think everyone should rewatch it again. I really do feel that way because the thing is, I almost missed it. I almost because it didn't draw me in the same way.
And that's the problem.
But that being said, if I watched it, once I couldn't look away. It was like, it reminded me of Kane Dewey.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Kane Dewey. I just think everyone should give this another shot. I know some people, I think Turbs missed it he said that he missed some of it in the Discord. We got some things here. Mo says, we already said that. Mo says, I will guarantee I will never watch Young Shelton. Aww. Thanks, Mose.
Ed Begley Jr. is in this episode that's on right now.
Oh, is he? Oh, maybe that's why sometimes your internet's glitchy. You're streaming while you're fucking Jesus Christmas. The term says Dax and Cash will never split up unless Cash is hurt. Dax knows Cash will sink without him, and they love each other too much. I have a disproving theory about that. What do you think?
I just think if you give Cash as much time as you gave Dax in singles matches, Cash would also be just as good. In a different way.
I don't see him being because He hasn't he hasn't shown anything personality wise that makes you attached to him, and he seems a little insecure. That's just my take.
Yeah, I can see that.
I do think that Dax said, didn't you hear recently where he said something along the lines of, I think like FTR has one last run in them.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
And it's in regards to like, we want to get the titles. We want that to be a run. That's Dax basically distancing himself from it, saying like, I think so. I think he realizes it too. I think I honestly, Cash may be holding Dax a little back right now.
That's a bold statement there, buddy.
That's a little mean. But I'm angry today. Mo says, I just don't see this as the best MJF promo, but I understand Red's point of the reach, which I think is where he is heading. I am heading there. But I also will say that this is on par with MJF's best work.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because MJF has hit a ceiling of like being perfect. And now whenever he's perfect, it's just expected. And so like it's another home run, even though this one's maybe farther. No one's counting once it goes past the fence. It's just, you like that?
That was really good. That was quite good. That was quite good. Yeah, I just think all of his work with Punk is just as good as this. His work that he did with Regal, just as good as this. But the content of this one hits a little harder. But as far as execution, delivery, and the reach does make a little bit of a difference. But the presentation is a little more lacking.
Hassan's in the chat. Hassan, welcome, my friend. Hassan says, hi, guys. On my last 13 matches on yesterday, and it was hard, and it's Richard's birthday. Happy birthday, Richard.
Happy birthday,
You had your last 13 matches? Hassan, are you a pro wrestler?
Wow, 13 matches in a day. I'd retire after that, too.
That's fucked up. Yeah, it's exhausting. And on Richard's birthday, everyone give Richard a happy birthday. I'll try to find a birthday song eventually. We should have a birthday song.
Good call.
Or we should actually sing it. That would be better.
Yeah.
We'll sing it at the end, Hassan, for Richard. Brett says, I'm going to rewatch the MJF promo. I'm sure it was good, but his promos hit so better with a live crowd for him to feed off of. And no, they do, but like this one was different because I like, it's hard to show non-wrestling fans a wrestling promo in the audience because you're still playing to the audience, and you know these insider terms will get a pop from people.
Interesting,
but like
when
you show them this is something that you could show people, like, look, check out this guy, show them that, and then they will be captivated by it.
That's so interesting. I would 10 out of 10 times show a promo to a non-wrestling fan in front of a live audience than one that doesn't have a live audience.
But
the reaction.
Sure, but the reaction though makes no sense to them. They're reacting to weird words and sounds, and like
I don't think that's true.
I had someone describe that to me because like it's confusing. I've showed a lot of people a lot of things. I do have too, I'm sure. But like when I show live things, there's so many questions like, what does that mean? Why does everyone care about that? Why is this? When you show them a blank slate, like just an interview, I showed wrestling promos, and then I showed a few people, Mick Foley's interview with Jim Ross. No questions. Loved it.
Yeah, but that's a little different.
No, but it's the same realm of like direct, straightforward, the audience interaction with the whats and the chants and the woos, as just it throws people off, and they're just like, I don't understand what's going on anymore. If you just have a straightforward thing, people are able to connect more.
I understand that. But
I'm hyped up, dog.
Foley and Jim Ross. I mean, Foley's playing off of Ross. They're playing off each other, so that doesn't technically count in my opinion. But I would argue, and I've done this once before, and I was successful. I haven't done it a lot. I would argue that I could show any non-wrestling fan Dusty's Hard Times promo, and they would immediately understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I would show them. I would show them truly great promos, like top tier. There are Ric Flair promos Hard Times is in the back. It's not in the back. It's in front of an audience. It's in front of a studio. It's a studio wrestling show. It's in front of a studio audience.
Studio wrestling promos don't count because they are dead silent anyway.
No, they're not. Like, they're hyped up and yelling the whole time.
They're just
watch the Hard Times promo. The fans are excited by it.
And
they're
also
reacting to Dusty.
Also promos back then are different. And
that's what I would show them. I would show them maybe an early Austin promo before what. There might be like an option there. There might be a couple of Rock promos but like Rock said a bunch of shit that's stupid. I don't know.
All right. Well, we have some comments here. Turb says, "Happy birthday, Richard!" Everyone, happy birthday, Richard. How's it?
Tricky
and
dick.
Also ask, "How's it going, Hassan? Good to see you tonight." Hassan says, "Doing fine. How about you?" Brett says, I'm doing well. Do you like Raw or Dynamite better this week, Hassan? Hassan says, okay, we sing in the end. I do like both men. Then Brett says, at the end of the day, MJF is going to be a big star in wrestling. This A24 movie is going to be huge because it's an A24 movie. Hopefully wins the title. He's so young. I still think they should hold off on MJF. But that being said, that A24 thing is going to be huge.
Yeah, and you just can't, the guy can't cut promos like this, and then you just have to wait another 6 months.
If they do it cleverly,
sure. I think I don't have a lot of confidence. Yeah. I have a lot of faith on that.
Hassan says, yes, I'm pro wrestler. I'm a wrestling fan, but I'm a wrestling fan. Hassan, show us some matches, dog. We want to see your work.
Out. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let us know. Send it to Loserly's Pod. You could see it now right underneath us because of Roy's handy dandy template.
It was also a lot of Tam. Tam helped me out. I forgot to do the thing, and Tam did it. It was a great job. Just flip your thing up.
Okay. But thank you so much, Tam. Everyone sound off for Tam. Too many carbonated beverages. We have to keep going because we're at the second segment.
Well, it's going to be a hot show tonight because we're going to be yelling at each other all night.
This next one is a Stokely promo. Stokely.
So weird.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought I burped again.
No.
Stokely, was talking about MJF and how they were former friends, and that he's like, "You're say you're the devil. I'm going to see you in hell," and just kind of like saying like, "I'm coming after you," and it's I don't.
Did you miss like the weirdest part about this?
Oh, and then go say like you and John Moxley are dick riding each other.
He's dick riding John Moxley. I love that he said. I don't know how to feel about the term dick riding. First of all, yeah, because he said you chose to dick ride John Moxley instead. And what was it?
You can't dick ride without a license.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Stokely?
Should I feel weird about the term dick riding?
I was trying to think about that too, because it's a weird, it's not even like a classic homophobic slur. Like it's just like dick riding. You want to go dick ride. Like it wasn't saying, honestly, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Stokely. Yeah. But I will say that made no sense. I'm not sure what you're going for. And I'm not sure. I was trying to think, did I mishear dick?
Yeah.
Like I was trying to hear, what am I missing? But I don't mind this.
No, I think this plants the seeds. I mean, we all kind of thought that Ethan Page was going to win this title eliminator tournament, but this plants the seed. This is the final seed that needed to be planted in order to confirm that Ethan Page is going to win.
If they were smart, and but just they've already wasted so much on it's. Honestly, the Stokely thing is weird, but what would be smart if he had another ringer? I wish they didn't show W. Morrissey so far. Maybe it would have been later, but he costs him the title. And then MJF then needs to vanquish the Stokely gang to finally come back and face a heel like maybe Jericho. And beat Jericho.
He needs to avenge his loss to Jericho.
Because I want it to be huge when he wins. And the thing is, it will be huge if he beats John Moxley. But it's bigger when you have a big baby face over a big heel. I want to be able to hate them. I want to be able to not think I want to be how in some matches they're hitting back and forth and people are just cheering for the match. That's fine. I that's fine, and it's fun for a lot of different matches. But I love when the heel hits him, and I'm just like, fuck that guy. Please God, don't win. Yeah. And then when the other guy wins, that's what makes me happy. And so I would love that for MJF because I feel like it would just resonate so well if he had a big build to a deserved title shot that's been he's been chasing it for a while,
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. And this is my counterpoint. And I'm not saying I even disagree with you because I don't. But outside of Andre versus Hulk, what's the biggest main event in the history of WrestleMania?
Rock versus Stone Cold? Or
two baby faces. WrestleMania 17. Austin didn't turn heel until the end.
17. Okay, sure.
17. 15. At that point, that was whatever. But 15. I'm just saying, this is Rock and Stone Cold going into WrestleMania 17 were the undisputed two biggest stars in the company. No doubt. And that's exactly who Moxley and MJF are.
They just have too many of these matches. And that's fine to have those matches, but for a crowning, I don't feel it should be that way. They should have MJF versus Moxley, but like MJF's coronation, should be up against someone that people don't want to see win or would hate to have win. So that his win means that much more. If Moxley wins, people are like, oh, we'll see what happens next time. But if like Jericho had the title and MJF was climbing and then it got to MJF versus Jericho, we'd be like, if Jericho fucking wins this, I will lose my mind.
I get that. I just don't think
and then when he almost wins, we'll feel so much better. But then when MJF wins, it'll be like, oh, thank God they did the right thing. They did the right thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, they the problem is there's this guy who said a bunch of really rude things at a press conference and then got into a big fight and is no longer going to be with the company, who was the perfect person for this. Punk was going to turn heel. It was going to happen, and it was going to be Punk. But now that Punk's gone, they got to go the Austin Rock route into two baby faces, but the two biggest stars in your company, and just go for it.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly, I blame one who I've decided. I've done a lot of thinking about the whole CM Punk elite situation, and I finally figured out who's to blame for everything.
MJF.
Jericho. Jericho is absolutely to blame for everything. And I'm going to really come up like a really detailed.
I love it.
He has been masterminding Punk's downfall since day one. And he has done a hostile takeover to have more clout than the elite. He has done it. He's the top. He's got Tony's ear, and he'll do whatever.
He might have more clout than the elite at this point.
He does. Oh, he 100% does, because he's a real locker room leader.
But he doesn't.
Kenny Omega goes up there and negs the audience, negs them, saying like, "I wouldn't hire half of you." He said that.
I know.
And it stopped me.
I would say though, he doesn't have more stroke than Moxley. Moxley has the most stroke in that entire company.
Well, that's his next person.
But Moxley won't flex the stroke. Moxley doesn't care.
He doesn't care because Moxley just wants to be sober with his family. Jericho wants power. Ultimate power.
Maybe, baby.
Yeah, I think he's ruined a lot of lives. Hassan writes 9 + 13 = 14. I don't think so, Hassan. I don't know. Just check. Someone get a calculator. That says very sexual promo. Dick writing. Hassan writes, first is easy on 9 matches, and it was 13 on 2. AEW Dark.
AEW Dark had 13 matches.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Brooklyn Bleak says that term is perfectly old school. Love Stokely. Dick writing?
Dick writing's an old school term?
Brooklyn Bleak's in the chat.
Hey, Bleak.
Bleak. What are you talking about?
Is it an old school term?
I've never heard of dick riding. Mose writes, MJF gets Ring of Honor gold and then AEW gold and double straps in 2023. I'd rather him get NJPW gold.
Yeah, sure. He would be such a great heel. And he's never watched New Japan, according to him.
I love it. And I hope he never does. I hope he wins. And he's just like, I'm not going to watch my fucking man. They pay me. Brett says, too many championship tournaments that lead to absolutely nothing for the winner. Yep. There's a lot of that. Brett says, it's like Tony thinks if the champ isn't wrestling that week, he needs to book a tournament for the champ's next challenger instead. Yeah, but he doesn't know how to book champions.
This is an exception because they do this every year. They've had a title eliminator at Full Gear every year.
I feel like I hear title eliminator every other week. Like
that's also a good point.
AEW existence, I keep hearing this eliminator term. I've never heard it in any other time in wrestling history. I've never heard besides elimination chamber. Like I've never heard eliminator series, eliminator match, eliminator challenge.
The eliminator matches are the problem.
It's all so confusing because it makes no sense. It's just a word Tony likes. Yeah. We have to keep moving on because we're at actually a really great match coming up next. Ethan Page versus Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Ethan Page versus Eddie Kingston.
This is a good match, and I really loved that just because they wrestled on the indies doesn't mean they've never wrestled. So give me a little information. And they showed some clips of them wrestling on the indies.
Shocking.
Excalibur called out AIW and AAW, which was great. This was overall, and this match was great. Eddie's great, and Ethan's great.
They got all that footage because very easily, because any promotion is just like, please put my footage on there.
Right.
And so like, why didn't they do this for Danhausen? Why didn't they do this for any other people? Just to show little clips, just so we're familiar with them. Because not everyone watches everything, Tony.
Right. Right. Yeah, you ain't
He's-
wrong. I wish I'd seen some clips of Eddie Kingston having anger issues because I guess that's only happening on Dark, and I don't watch Dark.
Yeah, 100%. But they have this match, and Stokely's trying to distract, but it's a great back and forth. And like they just look great. Eddie really puts Ethan Page over.
Yeah.
Beats him up. A hard hitting match. Gets him in the stretch plum. Gets distracted by Stokely. And then he turns around, gets a boot in his face, and then Eddie just screams at him, and then Ethan gives a jumping high kick and hits him again, and he just sells it like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
And then we get an Ego's Edge off the second rope for the win.
And
He
Eddie
almost
took that
dropped
like
him.
a champ too.
Yeah, bless Ethan for because
Yeah.
honestly, Eddie's not the usual body shape.
Yeah.
So it's hard to distribute well,
Sure,
and
of
he did it,
course.
and he did it safely.
Yes, he did. Ethan Page, very good professional wrestler.
I'm liking Ethan Page more and more, but I would be lying to you if I said I didn't wish Eddie won this.
Sure, of course.
I want Eddie to win.
I just love that Eddie also is making people tap out with the stretch plum.
This
couldn't be more old school.
So old school, but also not a good move because it's not visually. It doesn't visually look good.
Yeah,
like it's not a good camera move. Sure, in real shoot, would it hurt? Yeah. Also in real shoot, like the way he does it, very easy to get out of. Like it's just like honestly, if he put me in that, I just like, oh, so I just lay down and I'm out. And you're just like standing over me, so I could just punch you in the nuts. Like there's nothing holding me there.
Have you watched any of the Tales from the Territories?
I have not. Well, I have. I watched Andy
one.
Kaufman. Then I watched Andy Kaufman, and I haven't watched. I maybe watched. What's the next one after that? Was that Florida?
Florida, Minneapolis. I'm not going to get too deeply into it now, obviously, but they did Stampede. And
sure.
Brett's on it, and so's Abdullah.
Oh, I heard.
And
I can't wait.
They both tell great stories about Stu Hart just stretching the shit out of people.
I can't wait. Honestly, that's the one I'm most looking forward to because that cast is nuts.
Abdullah cries. He gets really emotional about how good Stu was to him.
Honestly, I don't know if I could take that big fat man crying, which actually might hurt me right now.
No, watch it now.
Save
it for Christmas.
I'll save it for Christmas. That'll be a good Christmas Day thing. Next we get Renee with Roosh, with Roosh in the Dark Order in the back.
Terrible.
Yeah, and they
terrible, but
Roosh
if this pays off with 10 taking his mask off and joining Roosh, fine.
Honestly, his face is heel. Like he has a real heel face.
He has a real heel face. Yes.
Oh my God, such a punchable face. It looks like Rene Dupree's sperm. It's just this like very prissy, like very fancy Frenchy face. But he's asking him to take a fall for him, and then with Roosh when Roosh wins the tournament, he's going to give him the first match. And then John Silver calls him a Roosh bag, and we're on to the races.
I saw that on Dark. Hassan saw this. Kip Sabian beat Alex Reynolds, and that made me so sad.
Yeah, it's also sad. All of Dark. Honestly, I tried to watch Dark maybe a couple weeks ago, and just like this just makes me sad.
Yeah,
because I like a lot of these people, and they don't know how to don't know what they're. The people that I was like hopeful for 2 years ago, because they were in the company, and then all the WWE talent came over, and now they're on Dark.
Yep, exactly.
Bless their hearts. But I get it.
You do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Next up, we get Arya Davari is trying to bribe Wardlow with a butler.
Do you remember? I wish Arya Davari, again, they don't have time for this because they have all these other wrestlers. But if Arya Davari wants to be the rich guy, I would love for him to do like $1 Million Man or Tiger Ali Singh and call people in from the crowd and make them do embarrassing things for money. Love it. Heat-seeking missile.
Let's have that shit on Dark.
Oh yeah, well, good idea though. Why not?
Yeah, I just don't. I care because they've caused me to not care about Davari. I don't care. Honestly, I don't want to see him do anything more than he's doing. I'm not clamoring for like more DVR time.
DVR time.
Wardlow comes out and throws out the butler,
lost.
headbutts him, clothesline, power bombs. Honestly, he's just like the power, but whatever. Honestly, this match is whatever. I don't care. Do you have anything to say about the match before we move on to the real important
Who
stuff?
cares? Yeah.
Afterwards, Demands Hobbs come out, and Wardlow starts cries, screaming like a child. Just like I'm gonna tell you defenses. It's like now I got a real challenger to face me rather than these losers have been facing. Insults every single defense he's ever had.
I mean, he's pretty much only wrestled losers. That's true.
Because it's 100. And then he's just like, I'm gonna take every title in the company, and then all of a sudden, Joe has had enough.
This is the worst thing they could possibly do.
It's the best thing they could possibly do.
It's the best. It's the best for us as fans, but it's the worst for Wardlow because everybody likes Joe more than Wardlow.
No, but
he's going to get buried.
No, I don't think it's going to get buried. I think this is actually very good for Wardlow because Wardlow needs to kind of earn his stripes, and he's never had to earn it. He's always been bigger. He needs to face someone that's bigger, that could really bigger and stronger, that could fuck him up and make him look like a baby face. Joe's going to be get popped at first, but he's going to be so hopefully if Wardlow does it right and sells right and doesn't cut another promo like he did tonight, where he's just crying like, I'm going to take all the titles. It just sounded terrible. It sounded like the exact opposite of what Jungle Boy sounds like. Jungle Boy sounds like he's constantly chewing. What are you seeing? I'm just going.
That's true. That is true.
But I think this is really good for then to have these 3 in matches: Hobbs, Joe, Wardlow, TNT title on the line. I would love for that kind of thing. Now they're making them serious, having serious. I'm not mad at this, but I will be mad next week when it all goes down the pooper because they did something stupid.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
I miss S. I miss S so much. I hope S is doing well.
Hope you're doing well.
When I have some crackpot WCW thing to talk about, I always know that S is going to have my back. They used to do this thing. I think they did it twice in 1998 for Booker T. Booker T was the TV champion, and he would wrestle. It was like Saturn. He would wrestle Saturn, and then the winner of that match in the same night would then have to fight Rick Martel. And that's what they should do here. It should be Wardlow versus Joe, and the winner of that match then has to go on and immediately fight Powerhouse afterwards. And Joe should fuck up Wardlow so bad and lose that Wardlow's too fucked up and Powerhouse beats him.
Sure.
I just think Wardlow can't walk out of the pay-per-view with that title, and it should go on Powerhouse.
I don't wish that curse upon Powerhouse right now because Powerhouse Hobbs is starting to look good, but him having the title will not help him.
We don't know that. We
do. We do.
Look,
Roy, how many times will you touch the electric cheese? We know the cheese is electric. The cheese is electric, Roy. You keep going down the same path. That cheese is electric.
There's been 2 bad TNT. There's been more good TNT title runs than bad TNT title runs.
I'm just talking about champions in the company and how they're booked. Cody booked himself.
Cody booked well. Darby booked well. Miro booked well.
All early. And then since then.
And then Sammy, hold on. The first time Sammy held the title was good. Who did Sammy beat?
Jay Lethal. Oh no, who did he beat for the title?
He didn't beat Miro. Or did he beat Miro? He must have beaten Miro. He must have.
Yeah.
Sammy's first title run was good until they started doing this weird hot potato shit with the title, and Cody had the title for a while, and then someone else I think had the title. I don't even know who's had a title.
Sammy
anymore.
Immediately dropped the value of the belt. His title was not good. His title reign was not
his
good.
His title run was good for a little bit. His match against Jay Lethal was just having really good matches, and he was really over.
He could have really good matches, but I don't think he was.
All the Dan Lambert shit happened. And Scorpio having the title fucked it all up. And
I blame
there was
Sammy.
Too much there.
But we have to get some comments in here. Brett says too many championship tournaments that lead to. Oh yeah, we said that. Tony thinks a champ isn't worth the week. He did book it. Hassan, oops. Oh, Hassan writes, oops for that, but we'll try Impact for tomorrow night. Awesome, Hassan. Thank you. Let us know. Turb says an eliminator tournament could be really cool if they ever booked an underdog to come out of nowhere and go over by winning a belt. Yeah, if they ever made it seem serious, that would be fun to have eliminator tournaments, right, Roy?
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Say that again.
Eliminator tournaments where the underdog wins.
Oh, the underdog wins. Yeah. No, I mean, the first eliminator tournament they ever did, the winner of the tournament did go on to win the title. but it was Kenny. So
Total side note: are we going to have online battles on Fight Forever? PSN 3 in the chamber. In the chamber, 3-inch hammer.
in the
PSN
chamber.
3-inch. Oh, is that your PlayStation Network idea? Is 3-inch hammer? Okay. Jeez, Mose. Yes, we're gonna have it. Term says closest they got was Kyle O'Reilly versus Mox for the interim title in June. That was great. Brett says, and then Khan screwed Kyle out of it gold and thus broke his neck. That's how the dominoes fell because Khan's bad booking. Tony's fault. Kyle O'Reilly is out after neck fusion. Brett says, is Fight Forever going to be cross-plat? I have Xbox and PC. It will be cross-platform.
Yeah, I'm just waiting my turn.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to
read them.
We have a lot.
Great. Yeah, that's great. Go for it. Go for it.
Hassan writes, we need Sky Blue for the belt. Right, Roy? Do you like Sky Blue for the belt?
No.
Come on. Brett says, I'll whoop you all in online matches with Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah, good luck, dog. He thinks he's going to whoop us?
Yeah, right.
He thinks he's going to whoop us? I'm gonna have to make you in the game, Turbs, especially for that tattoo. Yeah, we're making you in the game. Brett says Roosh Bag is the best part of the segment. Hassan says Zoe Starks got hell from NXT. Yeah, I believe it. Brett says Zoe turned on Nikita was cool. She's a better wrestler than Nikita. Did you hear about Nikita?
She is a better wrestler than Nikita Lyons, but
I had such a crush on Nikita until Nikita ruined it.
Yeah.
Brett says I had a near perfect Wardlow scorecard. What are you talking about? All I missed was him headbutting instead of punching. Oh, is that what you gotcha? Oh, now I remember the Booker T WCW stuff.
Who said that?
Turbs.
Hell yeah, Turbs.
Yeah.
Love it. Love 98 pay-per-views.
Mo says Scorpio. Where is this guy? Yep, exactly. Former TNA champion. Hassan writes, I missed my
TNA champion.
TNT, whatever.
Yeah.
Hassan writes, I missed my PlayStation Network 2 guys, but I don't have a code. We'll figure it out, Hassan. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Roy, I'm so sorry.
This is all I'm pointing out. I looked at the history. I looked at the history of the TNT title.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. Cody wins it and holds it for 91 days. Good title run. Great title run. Brody wins it. Great title run. Cody wins it back. Yeah. Well, it was good for what it was. Shocking.
It wasn't good.
Fun.
It was
46 honestly, days.
It's bad.
It was 46 days. It was fine. It was fine. Then Cody wins it again for 31 days. Again, really short.
He won it back because he got sick.
That's not true. I don't.
That is true.
I thought
he wasn't feeling well.
Interesting. I don't want to go down that path. I'll cry.
He was gone 2 weeks later.
I'll start crying. And then Cody wins it back, and then Darby wins it, and Darby holds it for 186 days. Then Miro wins it, holds it for 140 days. Then Sammy wins it and loses it on Christmas last year. Okay.
How long did he have it for that first time?
He had it for 87 days the first time around.
Terrible time. Everyone hated it.
It was fine. And then that's when everything goes downhill. It hasn't been good since Christmas of last year. Cody's run was 32 days and weird. Then Sammy won it again for 42 days. That's weird. Scorpio had it for 38 days. Weird. Sammy had it for 11 days. Weird. Scorpio had it for 70 days. A waste of time. And now Wardlow's had it for 105 days.
So terrible. Sammy's a 3-time champ?
Yes. Scorp's won it twice.
They just did that so that Cody wasn't the number one. That's the only reason. That's the reason for that, Roy.
What do you mean?
Because then he would have been the only 2-time champion. Before that, Cody was the number one.
Cody and Sammy have both held it 3 times.
Oh, Cody's held it 3 times?
Yeah, Cody's
held it 3 times. Yeah. We have to move on from this segment. We have to get out of this segment.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
Because we can't talk about them all day, but we can if we want to, I guess. Renee with Jade Cargill. You ever heard of her, Roy?
I've heard of her.
So Jade is sick of it.
Hey, I'm sick of it.
She's sick of Nyla Rose parading around.
Yeah.
Roy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why isn't the AEW higher ups doing anything about this blatant theft of company property? It's been 2 months. Has it been a month? It's been at least a month.
It's been a while. Well, who's gonna go? I'm not gonna fuck with Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose can fuck me up.
I know, but it's just it just seems a little stupid.
Sure. It is
a very stupid thing to do.
But at least they're getting a pay-per-view match out of it.
At least they're getting that. Okay, next up we get something that's really cool that started off that pissed me off at first, but it's okay. We get Tony Schiavone with Britt Baker
Oh.
and Saraya in a face-off.
Oh.
And I immediately got upset because I'm just like, why not just have a face-off in the ring and not have Tony there? Because like they both don't feel comfortable with anyone else holding the mic, and that's no longer a thing, and that's fine. Don't have Tony there. What is Tony there for? Because he has to awkwardly leave.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he
He
does.
awkwardly leaves, and the camera always catches it.
Him leaving? Yeah.
Him awkwardly leaving, like backing up slowly to the corner closest to the
He's
the
like
stairs.
Homer going into those bushes. He's just disappearing.
And there's not stairs on each corner, so it's the one on hard cam back left. He walks to that one. It's just oh man.
Yeah. Well, I'm so used to that it didn't even register with me. I had no idea.
Well, Saraya has some big news, Roy. Big news. And she has some unfortunate news for Britt. She's cleared. She's cleared, guys. We all knew it. Of course, the dumbest thing, the way they drew this out.
It's
but
so
honestly,
nice.
that was upset me at first. That was the part that upset me. But then the doctor gets the mic, calls the AEW fans fickle. Where ever heard that one before. She said that, like, this isn't your house. I built this. This is my fortress that I built that had you wrestlers like you. Oh, no. Superstars like you clamoring to get to. And she's just like, you're not in her house. You laid no bricks. I didn't see you lay any bricks. And she's like, no, you left your house. And now you're in my house. And then the fans cheer. Is very interesting. And she's like, this was a great line. She's like, and we don't take walk-ins. So bitch, making an appointment. I'm sorry for dropping a hard B word there.
That was a hard B.
It was a quote. It was a quote for the context. And then we get Saraya saying that she is an ungrateful bitch just because I can't do it for one and not the other, Roy. Just don't get mad at me.
Yes.
And then she starts talking about her life. She's just like, I've been in this business 30 years, actively for 17. You're ungrateful. I grew up in this business. I traveled for nothing across Europe for this business. I came to America. I got hit by a car. I got humiliated in public. I've gotten my entire drug addiction caught in the public eye. And she's just like, yeah, now why don't you have me at Full Gear? And then just like, it's just great.
She did such a good fucking job.
They both did such a great job. And I'm like, this is honestly what they needed. If I would have booked this, Roy, she would have come out and just supported the rest of the wrestlers she liked. She'd support Willow Nightingale. She'd support Tony Storm, and she'd come out and support them. And then Britt Baker's just like, why aren't you coming out for me? Why aren't you coming out for me? And then it slowly became this. And this should have been 8 weeks in and never touched each other, never got involved, never got wrestled. And then they had this moment, and she's just like, unlucky for you. Unfortunately for you, I'm cleared. And then that big pop, everyone's excited. And then at the end of this, there's a beatdown, attempted beatdown. Britt goes for a hit. She ducks it, and she gives her finisher to Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Which at first I was like, oh, cool. She could still do a move. But this was the time to beat her down, Roy. This was the time for
Saraya down.
Britt to just demolish her, get some heat on her beforehand.
That'll happen next week.
I know,
they got
but
one
like
more week.
I just feel like her getting the one up. Like, I don't want to see. I wish they just held off on Saraya doing anything physical until the show, just like with Brett and Vince. Even though, like,
Brett couldn't.
No, but like
legally,
you wanted to see what he was gonna do because he came back from this injury. You didn't know,
and Vince kicked him in the ding ding.
Yeah, but like that, no, I'm saying like they beat him up.
Yeah,
he got kicked, but he didn't do any moves to Vince until that show. You know, we were waiting to see what he was gonna do to Vince.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a good example of that. We haven't seen. They kind of threw it away, but thank God that they had this because at least it gave back some of Saraya's.
Well, Saraya did such a good job here. Really, it washed away everything else she's done up until now for me. I thought she did a great job. This was
I
great.
hope so.
This was exactly what it needed it to be. She called out all of the specific things that we're all thinking about: her neck injury, her getting embarrassed, just all the things. She told the whole story. She did such a good job. The delivery was fucking great.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought the end was like a little like kind of awkward because I think they were both kind of waiting for the right cue to finally make it happen. But I don't mind that she hit her finish either. I like that she hit her finish. We haven't seen her literally do a move in 5 years.
yeah. I
So
just
like,
prefer.
let's go.
Yeah, but she did it well, and I love that move.
Yeah.
It's a cool move. But yeah, so I'm excited for this match again
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a
because
lot
I
of fun.
was not before tonight.
Sure. Sure.
Fair.
Sure. Yeah.
Same.
That's her. That's her.
Brett says, "Whoa, Red. Read Roy what I said about him being a nerd. What?
Who's a nerd?
I think you got
Calling
called
me a
somewhere
nerd?
in here. Write it down again, Brett, because I'm missing this nerd talk. I'll be happy to read it. You got to send it to me again. All right. Let me know how he's a nerd. Brett says you missed my punchline. I'm confused. You got to help me out. Son writes, well, thanks again, guys. Anytime. And Richard, happy birthday to him. Happy birthday,
happy
Richard.
birthday, Rich.
Brett says happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Brett says Saraya destroyed Britt. This was the most fire any woman in AEW's ever brought to a promo. Britt would be low mid card in AEW. Saraya put her in place. That was good. It was great.
Seems aggressive.
Hassan says the Sonic font is out. The Sonic font is out.
Sonic the restaurant font or Sonic the video game font? Or Supersonic?
Or are you talking about the Supersonics? Are you talking about the Supersonics? Are they out of the playoffs?
Oh, this is the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah. Brett says, I said, oh, Roy, I remember the Booker T WCW stuff. Oh, and here we go. Here comes the punchline. I can't wait to see it. No,
who said this? Who said this?
Brett says, oh, Roy, I remember the Booker T WCW stuff. I think that's the joke. Is that the joke, Brett? I'm not sure. We have to continue, Roy. Because next up we get
so big.
Okay, this is the most confusing thing of the night. This is absolutely the most confusing thing of the night, Roy.
It is what I think it is. Let's go.
So QT runs into the best friends.
So whack. Oh my God.
It's like, I'm so confused.
And then a smash fade.
And then immediately goes to another thing with them, and they didn't explain. I was just like, I thought it was a big technical issue. Was it? Was I high?
No, it was just like a weird like iMovie edit job.
Jesus. And so like,
how do we transition from one of these segments to the other, but they're all still in the same space and shot at the same time? I got an idea. Smash fade. That's what it is.
It's just like, and after also Saraya shit on QT at his wrestlers at her promo.
Yeah.
And so then we see them right after. Good idea. Fucking idiots. Jesus Christ.
Why also, you know what really pisses me off? Hey, Tony Khan, you know what really pisses me off? I'm fired up right now. You know what pisses me off? You've made the announcement. You made the announcement on the show. I'm looking you right in the eye. You made the announcement in the bottom right corner of your screen. It was Trent Beretta versus Jay Lethal. It was already announced. So why do I need to see a promo of them setting the matchup? You've already set the matchup. You set it up. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I don't need this like awkward, weird backstage segment that isn't acted well or edited well or shot well. Just give me the fucking match.
Hey, everyone, give Roy one of these. That's not working.
Can't hear.
I pressed it a bunch of times. It's gonna keep coming. Oh no, it didn't. It didn't. Thank God. I was just like click, 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 click. Just like
sound like when I'm working out. You know what? Can I tell you something real quick? I had a panic attack last night, so I just laid on my couch all night and I watched George of the Jungle. It's so good. George of the Jungle's so good.
I love that movie. I've watched it so many times. I probably could recite it verbatim, honestly.
Your noise just reminded me of like when the monkey who can talk.
Yeah, I know.
Has to pretend.
I think
I'm a monkey.
I think that's been my monkey thing because of George of the Jungle.
That makes so much sense. It sounds just like it.
We have to keep going. Trent comes out and Jay Lethal immediately attacks him on the ramp. And then we get Lethal versus Trent. Danhausen and Chuck come out at
It's
some point.
unnecessarily long. The whole thing is unnecessarily
It's too long, and Lethal wins with the lethal injection. But Tony comes up to them as they're leaving.
This
Tony
is
Schiavone.
great.
And he's like, I want to get a word with Sanjay. That Sanjay grabs it and says, Tony, sit down. You got to sit down because I'm going to bring out Jeff Jarrett. And then Jeff Jarrett just comes out. Fucking, he's like, I got 1 million views. Last Outlaw. Did you hear about Last Outlaw? I'm the Last Outlaw. He's trying to get those t-shirts out. He's trying to get that brand out. Last Outlaw. You heard it here, folks. Last Outlaw. He got 1 million views on YouTube, and he hypes Lethal. Then he does the best job of getting Lethal and Sanjay Dutt over than they've ever been in this. He did. He stumbled big time with Satnam. He got confused, and then everything went downhill.
That's not true. That's not true.
No. If you watch it again, you could see it in his eyes as he gets lost, and then you could see Sanjay coming up to support him. He's just like, "I got this." It's honestly, it's amazing to watch the transcription, like see the wheels turn in Jeff Jarrett's head because he's like, Lethal. He's a Grand Slam champion, won all these things. I gave him his first contract, all this stuff. Sanjay got an IQ of 186. What need I say more? Just help me take over industries, doing all this
Incredible.
stuff. Satnam Singh.
I like when he was
billion.
like, cameraman, start down on his feet, pan up slowly.
No, and that was good. And then he's just like,
yeah,
the only man in the NBA history to be born in India. And he's just like trying to find it in his head to get the right thing. And then as soon as he says it right, like something's like, yep, that's it. Like it just... and
I love. He also kept saying, "Are you winding me up? Stop saying that's not
down.
the right phrase.
It's counting me down.
Are you counting me out? Yeah, are you counting me down?
Are you winding me up?
Winding me up?
Like,
also,
honestly,
was he supposed to hit that guy with the guitar, but the guy ran away?
Honestly, they should use the guitar sparingly. That's a huge pop.
Yeah.
Let's save it, man. I love it.
Also, can I just point out real quick that Turby just put in the Discord, I think YouTube live comments has a bully filter because I was trying to roast her ass and then it backfired, so I lose.
Oh my God, we have to fix that.
He wrote so many things about roasting me. I don't know.
Hey, if you're trying to bully Roy,
he said, "Oh, you know what he said? He said, oh, Roy, I remember the Booker T WCW stuff," and then wrote in all capital letters, "Just kidding, nerd, suck it."
Yeah, so I do have a filter on there to stop people from saying racial slurs. And I'm sure maybe I don't get to choose the words. It's just like ban offensive content. I'm just like, I'd rather just not deal with any of it.
Yeah.
So we just have it on. So watch your neg. You have to use code words if you're gonna neg us. What? Is that what they did? Yeah, just do that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea, Roy. Then Hassan says, I said the Sonic Frontier is out on PS4 and PS5 game. Sonic Frontier. Oh, we should play that. We should play. Awesome. We'll see you out there. And then we get that happening, and he doesn't get to hit the guy with the chair, which was fine. Next up, we get Renee and Marble Mouth Jack Perry. Just
you think he was really marble mouthed here?
He talks like this, and he's like,
he's so nervous. His jaw is so tense.
And I am so angry. Like it just scares me. But he wants revenge, and he's going to get on Rampage against Luchasaurus.
He sure is.
And I just don't care.
He sure. Well, I'm excited to see it. What stipulation it's going to be? What's the step? What's the step, baby?
Give us some step. Brett says YouTube once again trying to prevent me from getting nuclear heat with Roy. And then Hassan writes, "Yeah, hell yes, Hassan." Next up, we get Moxley coming out.
Love it.
Moxley coming out, and then he just starts talking shop. He starts talking about Regal. He's just like, I knew you from the beginning, if it's 25, 26, and I wanted to be like you, and you beat me up and beat the shit out of me, and then you trained me, and then I one day I fought back, and I really got you, did this. Doesn't that remind you of someone? Doesn't that remind you of someone? Who does that remind you of, Regal? He's like, oh, MJF. MJF. It reminds us of MJF. And then he just goes into this whole thing about how MJF, he's just like, he's almost there, but then he's like, it's just the start. It's going to get that everything before this match is the easy part. And it was just a great promo. Just a really great promo. And
it was similar to what MJF did. Moxley cut him down, but built him up. And I loved this. I love when Moxley can make it feel like a really intimate situation, even though he's standing in front of a crowd of 5,000 people. There's, 1 million people watching on television. he just stares right in the camera. And I love the whole devil thing. He's because
Yeah.
it's true. You go to rehab, like you've seen some shit. You've done some real shit in your life,
Yeah.
among other things that guy's been through. I read his book. It's a wild time.
But he does a great job, and he's really getting better. Like he's like one of the there's very few people that have gotten better since going to AEW. Moxley is definitely one of them.
Oh, 100%.
Moxley is
100%.
definitely one of them. MJF is definitely one of them. There's a
Yeah.
few of them that have definitely gotten better. We got some comments. Brooklyn Bleed says the Braun Strowman line was great with the red skinny jeans stuff. Lol.
Oh yeah, that was also really good.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That was really
Jeff
good.
Jarrett said that. He cut down all the fake giants.
Oh,
That was also good. Yeah.
Brett says
He
I don't
did a
think
better job.
Yeah, no, I think he did great. Besides the last part, I don't think this Jack Jungle Man is gonna be much of a singles guy. They should put him in a team with a caveman or a dinosaur gimmick guy. They should put him with Nick Camarado.
That's a good idea. The caveman.
Mo says, I said this before, but the Mox MJF story is similar to Punk, but on a different vibration. Yeah,
call.
because it's the same booking. It's the same booking sheet that he just erased Punk from Moxley.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hassan says, oh God, for Bro Storm, man of God. Oh God, for Bro Storm, man oh God. Oh, Lord. Hassan, you take me for a whirl sometimes. Any other comments on, are you okay? Are you there?
Yeah, I just had to, my computer's dying, so I needed to plug in my computer.
Oh, okay. Well, any other thoughts on Mox?
No, I thought it was great. I'm excited. I'm excited for this match. I think it's going to be fucking great. I think the whole thing's going to be great. I'm going to go watch it in a movie theater.
Oh, hell yeah.
That sounds like a fun idea.
That sounds like a really fun idea.
Yeah.
Next up, we get another Elite Erase video, like with their erase.
This is their best one.
But it's just like, what are we doing?
You didn't see what was happening in that video?
They're just showing clips of them.
They're showing, like, also the clips are interspliced with all of the Full Gear promos. And then the last image you see is a match promo with the Elite. Just the Elite, though. You don't know who they're going to fight.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that part. But next up, we get Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue. And a good match.
Can I point something out here?
Yeah, give it to me.
I always think this is what AEW does. This is what AEW does, and I think it's bad booking. But I'm not going to argue. Why, when you have to build this person up as like a real serious challenger to your champion, why is she wrestling 15 minutes against a Jobberino? I don't know. You can tell me all you want that Sky Blue's won 5 of her last 6 matches, but those 5 matches haven't been on television. So I don't care. Yep. But with that being said, two big takeaways here. I think Mose might have said that, like, Jamie Hayter makes green look gold because she made Sky Blue look fucking great here. Yeah. She makes everybody look great. She's just so strong. Yeah. She is maybe the strongest person in the company. Other than Claudio, she might be the strongest person in the entire company. She's great. Sky Blue is doing these incredible moves all because of how strong Jamie Hayter is.
And I really feel like it's just they have to book her better. They can't putting her in these situations where she's having, like you said, match with a jobber that's going 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, right before she's about to have a title match.
And I don't care what's going on in Dark. If you don't show us it doesn't happen, if you don't tell us it hasn't happened, and you can't just tell us all the time. Like Excalibur squeaks in these things every now and then, just like, oh, 5 out of 6 matches, and they just like, that's the extent of it.
But yeah, show me some footage.
Show me footage. Brett says, "Oh, you think this is the best one, Roy? I thought that was the worst one. Oh, in terms of the Elite."
Interesting.
Sun writes, his lights went out. Oh, sure, I believe that. Knocked right out.
My lights went out. Went out.
Hassan says, emotional damage. Oh no, Hassan, are you okay?
Hassan said that. You okay, Hassan? What happened?
Just said emotional damage 3 times.
Tell me,
is that the TikTok thing where he's like, emotional damage?
Hey, man, y'all tripping on Twitter. 2 different people sent me TikToks today, and I just haven't texted them back. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to acknowledge it.
Do you hate when I send you TikToks?
No, I like when you.
I sent it to the Discord. And I don't know if anyone ever watches, but I like doing it. Most says,
doing it.
Roy, you are so right about the blue hater. Thanks for the reference. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Makes green make gold. That's good. Okay, so we have to talk about this next thing, but it was a good match, and Jamie Hayter deserves a lot better.
Jamie Hayter fucking rules.
Then we get Cage versus Dante Martin promo which could burn in hell.
Oh my God.
Just dumb.
It's just a shame that Cage is going to beat Dante Martin.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
He's
I hope
not.
not
He
too.
is gonna. He is because Dante Martin. You could tell the booking just because they don't have Dante Martin on.
And then on top of that, they love callbacks. They love history. So Ricky's going to fight Brian Cage in the semifinals.
You think? Oh well.
And a
Let's talk
rematch.
about that next part because Alex Marvez is in the back, about to interview Ricky Starks, but Ricky Starks is dead because Lance Archer beat the shit out of him and he made him look like a fucking chump.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I hated this so much. This may have been my least favorite thing all night, and I'll tell you why.
Stupidest thing. Yeah.
2 reasons. One, you literally just brought Ricky back out on television last week, built him up, and now he's getting, you don't even see him get stomped out. You just see him already stomped out. And then 2, you need to the reason you're doing this is because you need to reestablish Lance Archer because he hasn't been on TV in months. So you have him beat this guy up. But here's the thing. Maybe just do a promo backstage with I don't know, Alex Reynolds. Bad example. Like there's somebody out there. Like I keep thinking Miro, but Miro's a bad example too. But like, let's say Miro. You just do a backstage interview with Miro, and then Lance Archer comes in, interrupts, beats the shit out of Miro for no reason other than to reestablish the fact that he's dangerous and on television and fighting Ricky Starks in the first round. So when Ricky beats him, now you've got something for Lance Archer to do after he loses instead of disappearing again for months on end, which is what will happen.
It's just
and then Ricky doesn't look like an asshole.
And also whoever produced it made Ricky look like a piece of shit because not only did they say like they booked it where we didn't see anything, they had him try to fight back up. They should just play dead because he crushed you with a brick. They don't know. We don't know how he did it, but he started to get up and then Lance Archer just beat the shit out of him some more. It just like looked like a baby. It looked like a bad dad.
And on top of that, Alex Marvez is like, I was gonna do an interview, but something crazy's happened. Like, you don't care. You're okay with this guy getting the shit kicked out of him? Somebody do something.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Hassan writes, yes, I like the TikTok on that song. Oh, so we're making some.
Okay.
Making some
People love TikTok.
Brett says, I hate Lance Archer so much. Well, actually, I don't hate him.
I'm okay with Lance Archer. I still don't understand his style. I don't understand it.
And we're at the last part of the night.
Yeah.
The main event of the evening. Yeah. We're here, and it's Sammy Guevara versus Bryan Danielson in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah. 2 things really stuck out to me in this match. One, no matter what they do, whether he's a heel or a babyface, I fucking hate Sammy Guevara. I just do. And he doesn't get good heat with me. He gets go away heat with me. I think he steals people's moves. I think he's immature. I think he sucks. 1 and 2, man, when Danielson has a match that main events a TV show or whatever, he just so insistent on bleeding. He has to bleed.
I think that was an accident.
No, I think that was, he loves bleeding. And I think they worked overtime to try to get it to be a gusher. It wasn't his nose. The blood was all over his eye. They mentioned his nose and I was looking at it. I didn't see anything on his nose. I thought the blood was all over his eye and like around that area.
I'm pretty sure that was Hardway.
Interesting. I don't think it was, but
we'll find out. We should find out. But I loved the match.
I thought it was a good match. Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I think Sammy's a good wrestler. I just want to put a bag over his head.
Yeah, I hate his face so much. And the thing is, like, they're making him the wrong type of heel because he doesn't want to be the heel that he should be, which is a creepy piece of nonsense, like a creepy fuckboy. But instead, he's like the suave Spanish guy.
Well, the original version of himself, where he was like doing this like call me thing or whatever he was doing with like girls and being creepy and weird, like that is who he should be.
Yeah, but then like that's actually who he is, and he got called out for it on a podcast one time because he expressed who he really is, and then he had to do an apology tour for it.
Right. Well, now he's married too, so it'd be weird because he's married to Ty.
He should still do that. Hassan says the Survivor Series is on November 26th. I'm actually excited for it. Hassan writes, because I like Full Gear. I like it too. Hassan.
Well, I'm excited for Full Gear.
I'm excited for both. Brett says it was all over his eye and he was holding his eye at the end. Oh, that's right. They were working over the eye because he has a detached retina. And they kept saying
that's also why I think it wasn't Hardway, because they worked the eye endlessly to try to get it to bleed more, and it wouldn't bleed more.
Weird. Roy on point with Sammy. Period. No, I agree. He sucks butt. Sucks big old giant butt. But this was a great match.
Yeah.
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 What Sammy did is Sammy got a disqualification the first one. First ever disqualification in AEW history was in a
That's
2 out
not
of
true.
3 falls, basically.
No, it's the actual first ever disqualification in AEW history was during an Iron Man match when Pac got an intentional disqualification on Kenny and gave Kenny a fall.
Okay, so it's the second. It's literally happened in the same way.
I think it's the third, actually.
The same exact way.
Because remember that
because it's the same essential match.
but there was another. Yes. But there was another disqualification in between all of that.
Oh, sure.
When Lee, no, who was it? Who's the captain? Shawn Dean. When Shawn Dean beat MJF by disqualification because of Punk.
Oh,
which was an excellent moment.
Yeah,
excellent moment.
It's crazy. It's crazy what you
can't fucking wait to have the AEW library available to me so I can go back and watch like the first 10 months of Punk's run and just really enjoy all of it, and then watch that promo again when everything changed. And the whole thing changed.
I'm very excited actually about that. That's a really good point. Hassan writes, "Oh yeah, and Yahoo and Impact Overdrive is on the 18th. Give us all those dates, Hassan. All those dates. Oh yeah, and Yahoo. Honestly, we should get a T-shirt.
Yeah,
this is oh yeah and Yahoo.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, and Yahoo. We got this, guys. How did you feel about the show overall?
I thought it was a fun show. A fun show. I'm excited for next week. There's some stuff on Rampage I'm excited for. I think Bandito versus Roosh will be like an interesting, fun match.
Okay. I'm not sold on Bandito.
Okay. Okay.
When you got me, you got me. Fucking nailed me on that one. All right, we're done.
We're out of here. We don't have a show this weekend. We're taking this weekend off.
Are we?
Yeah. Don't you? You have stuff.
I was gonna still try it, but actually, what? I should probably.
Yeah. We'll take.
We are taking this weekend off.
We'll be back in a big way next week.
R.I.P. Uncle Paul. Give on
Uncle Paul. You're in our thoughts. That promo tonight that Jeff Jarrett cut was in honor of Uncle Paul.
Oh no! Don't say that. MJF's was in honor of Uncle Paul.
Yeah, okay,
not him stumbling over the giant Suttons.
You know what? Actually, it was funny that Jeff Jarrett promo. I didn't say this earlier. I was just thinking to myself that I'm just so happy that I'm older now and I'm old enough to appreciate a Jeff Jarrett promo.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that promo, and I enjoyed last week too.
I would never, ever in my entire dreams think I would. Ever in my entire dreams.
Right.
Honestly, one of my least favorite people before his podcast. Yeah. And Hassan writes, I will try the rants. Brett says, Uncle Paul. Brett says the GOAT. Thank you so much, Turbs. Joe's in the chat.
Joe. Oh.
And Joe Wright, to be continued. That's another thing he said.
When he used to say that?
Uncle Paul, when he's leaving, just like, to be continued, on to the races.
All's quiet on the Western Front.
If you asked him how he's doing.
I love that.
And he's like, Godspeed, well wishes. Brett says, Paul's World, bree. That's gonna be Uncle Paul's theme music at his funeral. Yeah. We're gonna play it. I'm gonna play it in my head.
Theme song.
It's gonna be playing in my head at the funeral. All right, y'all.
All right.
And Hassan writes, "Bliss you guys, bliss you too. Have a great night, everyone. Get home safe. To Bruce. All right, bye, everyone. Mo says, good night, gents. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Have a great night, everybody.
Count us down, Roy.
5, 4.
Shush! Hush,
what? That's from Encino Man. That's from Encino Man.
Hey, get that squirrel off my dick. He knows he's not allowed to come on my dick.
Ole!